Wendell Vaughn, the first Earthman ever appointed the protector of the universe, bonded to the energy-transforming quantum bands that were both weapons and symbols of his station, who fought an ongoing battle to defend all life in the universe from cosmic evil as Quasar.
Hello and welcome to the Quantum Zone episode 4. We're all back together. I am Phil. So I'm going to lose my voice. I am Phil, and joining me, both of my other hosts are back. We got Matt.
Hey, good to be here, Phil. Hey, Will.
And Will.
Hey, everyone. Good to be back all together. The gang's all here.
Phil, Will, and Matt. Sounds like a sitcom or something. All right, so we're back to the regular Quasar series for issue 3. Quasar finally returns to Earth.
Yeah, this is sort of the finalization or the wrap up of the 2 origins, and then finally moving on to some current day guest appearances and fighting villains. Yeah.
For in the story Angles Not Found in Nature by Mark Grunwald, Paul Ryan, Danny Belandy, Janice Chiang, Paul Beckton, Howard Mackey, and Tom DeFalco. So basically, I think it's the same team we've had the first 2 issues.
Mm-hmm. Although the credits have changed in the first to the second, but my favorite is Tom DeFalco's credit for this one.
Oh Lord! Yep. Again, we covered Eon in Chief, because last episode when me and Will did Captain America 379, it was them jogging in the Captain America and Quasar jogging in Central Park opened the issue, so Tom DeFalco was Jogger in Chief.
Superheroes gotta stay fit, you know.
Yeah. So Quasar arrived back on Earth, just after a couple hours, because now he learned how to quantum jump.
I do really like how, and I guess at the time I didn't notice that they were going to make Eon's speech bubbles different. He's otherworldly, kind of whatever they're doing here. I think that's kind of a cool touch.
Yeah, you could just imagine it's like an Orson Welles voice or something.
Yeah.
They're kind of mossy, like Eon's body, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then Quasar goes to hide him in the garage, and Dad comes out.
Yeah.
Baseball bat in hand, ready to.
Son, what are you doing? I just lost contact with you a couple hours ago.
For a guy that does business with Stark Industries, you think he might have a more effective weapon?
Yeah, at least like a high-tech taser or something. Yeah.
Good point. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah. It's a good old bat.
Well, I'm trying to remember. Is he like a pacifist or something, though? I don't know.
Well, we won't get to pacifist till the next issue.
Yeah.
I think that was Marvel Boy's a father.
Oh, yes.
I think he was a pacifist. In fact, I think you picked up some of those, didn't you? In the
I did pick up. Yeah, and I was looking for back early appearances of Quasar at the show I just went to. I couldn't find any, but I got Marvel Super Action number 4. Yeah, number 4 with it reprinted some early Marvel Boy.
He looks angry in the cover of that.
I know, it's like how's he like aiming his blast too? It's like,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Speaking of right angles, like we will be this issue. Jeez,
yeah, shooting it out of the middle of the quantum band on that. That's a good idea.
But Will, Matt was telling me before we jumped on, I guess he's going to try to speak in right angles this episode.
Oh wow! Okay, awesome.
Like our villain, yeah.
Yeah. When we get to the actual dialogue, just out of a little bit of boredom, I wrote down the Angler Mad Libs. So
Nice.
To try to just, some are easier to figure out than others, but we'll get there. Yeah.
So basically, Quasar's like, "Your dad. Let's go in and I'll explain everything to you." He's like, "Let me get something in the middle of the night," because what did it say? It's 2:11 a.m.
a.m.
Yeah, but he's like, here, let me get something to eat. I haven't eaten in a couple years.
Yeah.
Let me make a sandwich. Pull the bread out of the fridge. So it basically recaps last issue with Death Urge and how Eon appointed him protector of the universe, gave him that snazzy new costume.
Mm-hmm. And they do that basically in, I mean, they recap the entire issue in, a page and a half, which is pretty awesome. Just boom, 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 done.
7 panels, yes.
And the panel, especially on page 3, the second panel down, is really cool because it's bearded Quasar coming out of current day Quasar's head when he's talking about how. And you can tell he's a little passive aggressive. Hey, Dad, remember how you talked me into suggested I fly in order to investigate the origin of my bands, and you outfitted me? Well, this is what happens.
I was just waiting for his dad to say, be like, hey, you were the depressed goth emo kid who, I was trying to get you out of the house.
Yeah.
I didn't mean going all the way to Uranus, But
Nice.
I packed you a lunch and nutrient packs for a year, and this is waking me up in the middle of the night.
Oh no, he said, well, he knew his dad's going to want to talk to the alien.
Mm-hmm.
So before we get I know we talked about it with one of the things that was pulled out of Death Urge, the skis. So I read somewhere apparently that was a jab at Jack Kirby for something that he did when he went over to DC.
Oh, the Black Racer.
Yeah, I mentioned Black Racer in that episode. Yeah, because that just reminded me of it because personification of death, flying around on skis.
Yeah. So yeah, apparently that's intentional. So that was a good catch on your part, Phil. I thought that was kind of neat. But yeah, so recaps that. We're up to speed with Dad, and then
there's an alien in the garage.
well, before even that, it's like, what are you gonna do now? It's like, I'm gonna protect the universe, like Eon said. He's like, don't worry, I don't have to go into space. Eon said the biggest threat to the universe is coming here, and he's like, oh wait a minute, maybe do worry. But then I guess he's been thinking about this on the trip back. I'm going to start a security consultant firm, which I guess makes sense as a former agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, that's something that Grunwald was always good about doing. He was using a character's history to point him in a different direction, or do something new for him. I mean, of course, that's what he had Hawkeye do in the Avengers back after or before or after the original Hawkeye limited series, I think. Which is, I know it's not awesome, but I still love it,
Yeah. I don't know. Grunwald had a thing about security consultants, I guess. But then it's interesting. And then the next morning, Quasar's going into New York to pick out office space. And he's just like, I got to get, he has to get caught up on the news. He said his mom's been saving all the magazines for him. Can you imagine that pile of magazines? There was a couple of years, I think, wasn't it? I mean, at least like 2 or 3 years. This was before digital. I mean, there's going to be a big step.
Well, and he noticed that the Statue of Liberty looks greener. They did the cleaning of it or whatever.
Can you quantum leap through old magazines? I mean, I know the Flash can speed read, but.
And then, hey, when did the Baxter building get bigger and get a big 4 on it?
Exactly. Which I don't know if that's still the case. Haven't they reverted back to the original Baxter building?
Yeah, I think like in the earlier mid 2000s, yeah, they brought the Baxter building back. Oh yeah. Because even though the Fantastic Four has been missing recently, yeah, Peter Parker bought it when he was all rich and.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it was like Parker Industries headquarters and that, and then now he lost the company, so it's up for sale. They're getting it back. They're coming back.
Yeah, the real estate market it's just synchronicity. It works out for them. The new arrival, the reemergence of the Fantastic Four announcement. Yeah.
And I understand how cool it would be to like have office space in the Fantastic Four's headquarters.
That would be pretty awesome.
But I mean, Quasar never went like up to like introduce himself. I'm guessing he wanted to keep his secret identity. So why would you? I don't know, be in this building where you're right under Reed Richards' like detection devices, especially with when you're like an energy wielder. Wouldn't you be worried that, Reed Richards is going to pick you up in the first 5 minutes?
Well, and I think, what is it, number 19 or 20, when the Presence comes to Earth during Cosmos and Collision.
Yes.
Reed Richards is like, why is there an interdimensional portal in my building?
I need extra closet space, sir.
You've got some explaining to do.
But Quasar just cited on the lease that there's nothing against.
Yes.
Yeah.
It says no pets, sir. It says nothing about interdimensional portals, sir.
And then we get a nice little fight with the Human Torch and
cliche villain number. Cliche villain A.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who that is.
Oh, is that actually someone? I thought it was just somebody Grunwald like made up for this fight.
It may have been.
Is it the Living Laser, or is that another?
No,
that's later on.
Right.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. This guy just says photon packs, and the Human Torch is also roasting him while he fights him, criticizing his goofy suit.
Is the dude like shooting fire? Because it's like, okay, let's shoot the torch with fire. That'll work.
Yeah.
But yeah, he looks like a cross between like Claw and like the Trapster.
Yeah. I don't. This may be his only appearance. I don't know.
Think he never even shouts his name or anything. So it's like,
yeah, it's sort of like professional wrestling when the '80s Hulk Hogan would just fight a random local guy that was never announced in the ring. And you just need a workout.
Oh, brother, you're done. I'm going to send you to the vault.
Take this, Barry Horowitz.
And then we get the best civilian disguise ever.
Oh, you mean the glasses and the slick back hair? No one's ever done that before.
Ever.
Well, he does it in an alleyway, not a phone booth. So
yeah, there we go. We're okay.
Oh yeah, before he realizes he can just switch costumes with the quantum bands.
Which is something really cool, because he learns more about
yes
what he can do, and he grows and change. Oh, hey, I can do that. Awesome.
It's like what we said before. It's Grunwald's attention to detail. This guy is new. He just had his mind open up to the potential of the quantum bands. He's not going to know everything in 2 seconds. Mm-hmm. Especially when your mentor is all mysterious and hanging out with your dad.
And mossy.
Yeah, mossy. But yeah, he signs the lease. Ooh, exciting.
And the real estate agent tries to talk him out of signing. He says, we already have a security. Reed Richards already taken care of the upper floors. I don't know how much business he'll get here.
Yeah, but Reed Richards isn't sharing his security. I will custom make one for you.
Nice. And then, of course, we figure, because he's a nice guy, right? So what does he do? He sees Kayla crying.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't know her. He's like, are you okay? And actually, if we back up, I really think that's supposed to be Reed Richards and Sue Storm on page 5.
That's what I was wondering. I'm like, that really looks like Reed and Sue. And he's like flying right behind them. I'm like, Reed Richards isn't going to notice that this like glowing guy is like flying right behind.
And that has got to be Doctor Strange on this page 11.
Yes.
Come on.
So many Easter eggs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, with the necklace, the bolo type of necklace, because when Doctor Strange appears a few issues later, he's wearing essentially that same outfit. So yeah,
it's the Eye of Agamotto in disguise, man.
Yeah,
that's good.
But Wendell sees Kayla crying, so he's talking to her. I'm surprised his opening line wasn't, "Oh, you're wearing a headband. I like headbands too."
Nice one.
Yeah, and Quasar has and that's something I noticed. He has an assortment of headbands in later issues, and some he has a blue headband on the cover, but a red headband inside. Yeah. Sometimes
I think in the interview in is it in the back of number 2 or maybe in the back?
No,
of
it's this one.
Yeah, this one starts it as part 1. Yeah.
So that in one of them he says, the editor asked him, well, what color's your headband? He says, I got a lot of them in a drawer. I just use whichever one's the least sweaty, I think is what he says, right?
I think as some of the, I don't know if it was the same in this book, the headband was always the same color, but I don't know if the Avengers colorists would like color it in different colors. Yeah.
Grunwald just explaining away inconsistencies, right?
That's what he did best, man. That's why, didn't they say that's why they made the Agents of the Time Variance Authority look like Mark Grunwald?
Yeah, those are some good Fantastic Four issues.
He had theories on everything. But yeah, so Kayla's crying because she just lost the secretarial job. She went to apply for it because of the way she was dressed. And you know, nice guy Wendell he's like, oh no, there's no problem with your how you're dressed. I'm like, you want to be an office professional and you're basically wearing an open jacket with a bra? I'm sure.
He's a nice guy
to get the job. What?
He's a nice guy from the Midwest.
Oh yeah.
And he's also someone that, you know, other people pick out his outfits, you know, at least his costumes at this point. So
yeah,
you know.
That's true. That is very true.
You need to find yourself a mentor, some old guy who can pick out your clothes for you.
Yeah. And he gives her his number on the back of the lease he just signed because he doesn't have a business card. It's going above and beyond. Nice guy, right there.
Yeah, he's not even thinking. I was just waiting for her to say, "Hey, buddy, eyes are up here."
Yeah. And then, of course, the angler shows up, who's
ripple effect.
Yeah, got a cool ripple effect going on, which is kind of cool. And
well, no one else even noticed, but he got a tingle on the quantum bands from.
Oh yeah.
And then, so he follows the energy trail, and it leads to the Fantastic Four's private elevator.
It's like, okay, here we go. So he changes. Wonder how long that took, because he didn't use the bands. I'm sure he actually changed.
I know he made a big flash of light. Yeah, I don't know.
And that's a great panel too, because he considers saying "flame on" or "Shazam."
Yeah,
this is a job. And then nah,
whatever. And then, hey, he doesn't want to just destroy stuff, so he's careful. You know, hey, I don't want to break this because property damage, right?
Yeah, but too, you really don't want to be breaking stuff in Ben Grimm's house, do you?
No, you really don't. Not at all.
You know what time that'll be.
That's something that I love, is because Quasar has all these different he's connected to Cap and the Falcon, and he's also got a connection into the Fantastic Four because, you know, he and the Thing were in the whole Project Pegasus saga.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's got his, you know, Avengers connections. He's well connected in the Marvel universe. It's kind of a neat thing, and Grunwald never ignores that.
It's like a nice it's like he has all these connections in the Marvel universe, but so many people haven't heard of them too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I like the little. Oh yeah, he's under the radar. I like the way that people nod to him. Like, you know, he jumps up in the sky, and you'll see passersby say, "Who was that?" Or, you know, he's always introducing himself to everyone throughout that. And I'm the new Avenger. I mean,
yeah,
not at this point yet. He hasn't got his card, which happens in the Avengers Annual, I think, when he gets initiated.
Yeah.
But
yeah, but yeah, I don't know if he's as fast as Superman, but he's at least as fast as a speeding elevator.
Exactly. Good call.
Yeah. All right, top of page 15. Matt, what's the angler saying there?
Oh well, blank here. I think it's on this one. That's my guess. It's here.
It's I am or I'm here.
Yeah, I think it could be either. So yeah, it's here or I'm here. Of course, you wouldn't say that. I'm here. Of course, you wouldn't.
It's a comic book. It's a comic book from like 1989 too.
Yeah. True. There's a lot of self-announcing, but yeah.
Yeah, but why would he say it's here? Because I think he probably already has like a pretty good idea that that's why he's going there, because he knows it's there. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, he's seeking the weapon, and I mean, he sees his reflection in there. I don't know if that's a big mirror in front of the plant.
Oh yeah, good point.
Maybe he's saying, no one's here.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's possible.
Yeah. and I don't think there's a rhyme or a reason to the number of
Characters.
yeah, but there's 4 there, so no one's here. That's a good one.
Well, he
Go
hasn't
with
seen
that.
anyone.
Mhm.
No.
So Angler gets off the elevator. Fine. Quasar pries has to pry open the doors. The ultrasonic alarm goes off that I guess can't be heard, but his quantum bands pick it up.
Yep.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And it's
The dog whistle of quantum bands. Yeah.
That's right.
Yes. And he's still Mr. Plate. Excuse me, are you supposed to be here? Because I think even didn't he say a couple pages back, well, what if this is one of the Fantastic Four's invited guests?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like that he was, getting back to his training and security. This is private property. Are you supposed to be here?
Mhm.
So, all right, page 16. Blank, one of the blank 4.
Oh yeah, this is an easy one. One of the Fantastic Four. I don't know.
Yeah.
No,
That's got to be Pegasus.
you would think, yeah. Because
Yeah.
what else why would he be using Project? But yeah, that first bubble, I didn't know if those were expletives or
Yeah.
one of the Fantastic one of the Fantastic Four.
I read it
Yeah.
as expletives just because I'm probably that way. So
Yeah.
They do allude to him possibly swearing later on. So
And with all these like triangle symbols, it makes you it's like a print version. Your mind immediately goes to like a bleep, It's like
Mhm. Exactly.
one of the bleeping 4.
yeah.
And then the angler seems to split in half, and once again, just like in issue 2, he faces another villain who can go right through that quantum energy.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's becoming a real trial and tribulation. You find you have a superpower and it's just not always working right away.
Seriously, and after last issue, Will, it's like either guys can cut through it or push your bubble, It's
Yeah, that's true. Exactly. And then later on, we'll find out that he has problems with magic. So this is really kind of keeping him in his place. I mean, obviously
they're going for a Superman pastiche. Superman has trouble with supernatural.
Yeah.
All right, blank at right angles from blank.
Oof. That's a good question. I just figured out, I think that he said energy means nothing to me when he's swiping him. And then, oof. Blank at right angles from blank. Yeah, you know what? I might have to tap out at some point.
Yeah.
But then I'm thinking that's time for ineffectual
Games.
We'll go with games.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we get back to Kayla saying, hey, cute guy left me his lease, so
Better bring it back. Yeah.
Like, ooh, he's cute and he's a business owner. He must have money.
That's right.
Yeah.
Little does she know.
He has power.
But she goes right into the private elevator.
Well, that's the thing.
Four.
Quasar did too, because at first I was thinking, did Quasar use the quantum bands to turn on the elevator? But I think the angler did something because Quasar didn't even say anything about having to do anything to that elevator.
He hacked it or something.
Yeah, the angler did something. Yeah, because when the angler got up to the Fantastic Four's headquarters, the panel was all smoking. So yeah, the angler did something. But I don't know. I guess Kayla did mention she was ditzy, but I was like, it says private elevator. Why were you taking the private elevator? But she's ditzy.
Yeah. Maybe because
and they're still playing. Basically, Quasar is still chasing him on the next page.
Mm-hmm.
And he's getting really sweary in that last panel. Nuts and a half.
Yeah, I know. Hold on, I got it. It's like meddlesome the angler.
Yeah. That's how he announces his presence. And the angler's going through walls and frustrating Quasar as he chases him through the Fantastic Four workspace, getting to the weapons vaults.
Well, and I love how he's not so cocky that he's like, I'm just going to chase him. He's like, the further we go into this, it's only a matter of time before the FF security is just going to stomp on us, right?
I mean, look at Amazing Spider-Man #1. Back in the day, Spider-Man tried to break into the Baxter building.
Yep.
Big glass tube.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess there's a limit to where how much the Angler can phase through, because he can't get through the vault door, so he starts cutting into it.
Mm-hmm. It's too thick. Yeah, he can't get through it because it's too thick.
And of course, the moment the Angler's out of sight, who shows up?
Which was set up nicely at the beginning of the issue,
Yes.
Really well.
But see, if Quasar had offered to help the Human Torch in the beginning, the Torch didn't need help, but the Torch would know who he is.
Mm-hmm. Or they might have fought then, right?
True. They might have got it all out of their system then. But yeah.
Or if Quasar had made a better impression at the Fantastic Four Christmas party years before,
exactly,
the Torch would have remembered him.
Because the Torch is like, oh, the Crusader back from the dead. He's like, no, Torch, wait, remember? That was the original guy. I was at one of the Fantastic Four's Christmas parties.
Yeah. And I love the self-referential. If we're done doing this, two heroes fighting each other over a misunderstanding thing, I like the nod to the comic book trope that happens a lot.
Well, and I really like where he says, "Hey, cut that out. I went to a lot of trouble trying not to, damage everything, and you're just, melting stuff left and right."
Yeah.
But I think we said before. I mean, Mark Grunwald, writing Quasar, and I think he even did this with Cap, but thinking man's hero,
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly.
Punches and blasts.
Considers the consequences of everything. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Such a polite boy. You could take him and his lease home to mother.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I guess the Angler's partially invisible, like we were saying, the ripple effect, because Torch is like, I checked the scanners, all I saw was you, because Quasar's like, there's a guy here, the Angler.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what is that? Because the first appearance of the Angler, or in this issue at least, he was you just saw parts of his costume go in, so maybe he's going angling in and out of time and space.
Well, he's kind of out of phase, because that's why he wants that weapon, because...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
and which actually comes back into play 50.
Yeah, it's like 51 and 52 the Angler comes back, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love that when Grunwald brings stuff back like years later.
Exactly. Like, what? Whoa, I barely remembered that.
I forgot this guy. I thought he was like a one and done.
Yeah.
So Quasar's like, oh, maybe let me take off and see if I can lead Torch to the Angler. And meanwhile, the Angler's in the vault looking for what he's looking for. Is like inside now to find. Aha! Nith projector. That's what I said. What can that sound like?
Yeah. Maybe it sounds like the instrument, the triangle being dinged,
Maybe.
But bent in different shapes. But yeah, the Human Torch and Quasar have a fun little back and forth before the Angler can be discovered. Quasar gets one of his many disparaging nicknames called Mr. Cape a few times.
Yeah.
From Johnny Storm.
And I mean, Quasar's too nice to call the Torch stupid, but he's like, look, hole in vault door.
Exactly. And it's like, hey, wait.
And then, of course, he's like, oh, look out, he's got a weapon. And Torch tries to put flame rings around them. And Quasar's like, nice try, but that didn't work for me either.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, after the Angler goes through the wall, Torch just melts through the wall. And again, Quasar's like, I tried to keep, the headquarters in one piece, but I guess it's his headquarters. He can do what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not going to fix it. It's going to be Reed.
Of course. Actually, it'll be Ben who's,
Oh, yeah. Reed will be like, Ben, put that over there. Yeah.
But it's probably a good thing that Wendell Vaughn was able to sign the lease, because after all the damage, the people that work in the Fantastic Four building might have to get their rent upped as a result of
Oh
the
yeah,
damage.
That's true.
Stuff got trashed. Yeah.
Unless it's rent controlled, maybe. Who knows, right?
Yeah, 80s New York, a lot of rent
with
control.
older buildings though? Because after the Baxter building got trashed, this building, Fort Freedom Plaza, got built, so it's not that old of a building. So, but
So maybe that's how they attracted the new clients to initially move in. Rent control for the first 5 years, barring any interference from Doctor Doom. Yeah.
we'll give you
Or
20%.
Galactus.
We'll give you 20% off the rent for the year if we get dropped into the negative zone. Yeah.
Again.
Again. Well, that's what happened to the first Baxter building. Doctor Doom shot it up. Well, and it got blown up. Quasar tells the Torch Angler can only go so far. He used the elevator to get here, so let's stand at the elevator and wait for him.
It's classic stakeout.
But who did Angler grab coming off the elevator?
Kayla, of course.
Right. He's like, grabs her and he's like, won't work. Anything. Slit this woman's. So that has to be throat, right?
Gotta be.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, unless he's saying jugular or something, because it's right at her neck.
Yeah.
I was always waiting for her to say, "What's up with that outfit?"
But Angler's outfit's a little weird too. He's got A's everywhere. He's got a big thing coming out of his head.
Oh yeah.
He's no one to judge. He looks like a Picasso Green Goblin, or not a
kind of.
And I swear, only back in 1989 could you seriously drop the sentence, "Don't try anything, Torch. That triangle hand of his is unbelievably sharp." Triangle hand.
Triangle hand.
And the Torch recognizes the device as a teleportation device.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Angler goes for the elevator button. Quasar's like, now, and he puts a quantum cast on Angler's arm so he can't move his arm.
And then, of course, we get a good editorial note that some of the stuff that the Torch talks about happens back in Captain America number 289 of all places.
Yes. I remember that story. Roxxon, long story short, Roxxon sent a bunch of they were going to send a bunch of mercenaries out with these teleportation devices to teleport the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, the X-Men. I forget if there's anybody else to another universe or something. But meanwhile, Cap had time traveled. He finds out all about the plot and he comes back and I guess they had a central power source for these things. So these commandos go up to they go up to Avengers Mansion and the Fantastic Four's headquarters and they're like, wait a minute, these things ain't working. Aren't working.
That would be embarrassing, wouldn't it? Very.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they went up through the X-Men too. So it's oh yeah, hold on, Wolverine. I'm gonna destroy you in a second. So yeah, Torch. After they take out the Angler, Torch melts the weapon so it can't be used.
Mm-hmm.
They finally resolve things. Apologize for the misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Well, the Angler's all pinned up.
And Quasar's telling Kayla, "Oh hey, I'm Quasar," because she doesn't recognize him because he's not wearing the glasses.
Exactly. Exactly. Works for Clark Kent. It's all right.
I guess between she said she's ditzy and they just met 5 minutes ago.
Uh-huh.
And Torch offers an apology and
Wendell's like, hey, it's all right, man. I've been out of circulation for several years. It's all good.
And then they try to interrogate the Angler. Quasar's like, "Okay, Angler, talk. Why'd you steal that dimensional projector?" And all he gets.
I'm not sure, but I think I was just sworn at.
See, even Quasar thought it.
Exactly.
Torch calls him Pinhead. I like that because he has that point coming out of his head.
I also like that he asks how long the shackles that he made for the Angler will last, and Quasar says indefinitely. But I thought he had to concentrate if he was doing different types of quantum bands at once. Maybe it's just
Well,
fashion these,
Will
and-
cleared this up last episode. Right off the Quantum Zone website, right, Will?
Yep. Apparently, once he creates it, it's created, and I think in the everything there is to know about Quasar's quantum bands that you could send in for, Grunwald was basically like, once it's created, it's created. He can't bolster, he can't do it, and he doesn't get any feedback. So if it's like, you smashing a sculptor's statue, there's nothing there. It's actually it's an interesting read to see what Grunwald was thinking about. And he actually outlines in the beginning that he has no power against magic. He lays it all out. It's really cool. So yeah, tell you what, offline, I'll send you a link to it, and you can take a look.
Awesome. Yeah, that'd be
Nice.
cool.
Yeah, send me that too. I'll put it up
Okay.
on our social media too. So everyone, watch out for that. So
All
yeah,
right.
so Quasar says he's gonna walk Kayla out, and then that night Quasar goes home, and he's like, I wonder if Dad knows that you don't send villains to Project Pegasus anymore. There's this new place called the Vault. Will, we were talking about that last
The vault, yeah.
yeah. Which makes much more sense locking up guys, like we said, in the middle of like Colorado where there's not people all over the place. Unlike now where they have the raft right in New York.
Exactly.
Sure.
Let's put our superpowered criminals really close to a densely populated center. Yeah, population center.
I guess guys just got lazy. They didn't want to give their villains all the way to Colorado.
And then we get a nice little touch here where
it starts here.
Yeah.
Dad talking to Eon, yes.
Yeah, Dad, let me tell you. And then he goes, not right now. Your guest hasn't finished telling me about Glacandra, the first cosmic champion he appointed. So he did two things there. He showed that they're awful buddy-buddy, but then he also laid down a little history of the protectors of the universe. The very first one was Glacandra, which is cool. We got some interesting info there.
I mean, Dad was kind of a jerk, but shouldn't Wendell have stuck around and be like, hey, maybe I can get some tips listening to this stuff?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was waiting for Quasar to talk in right angles.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to have to remember that you did that when we do 51 and 52, okay?
Oh, yes.
And that's it for this issue, except the letters column has the beginning of the interview. Is that right?
Yes. Which is weird because they're asking him about himself, and he's like, Wendell's like, I read Marvel Comics. Then they're asking him about Eon. I'm like, wait a minute. So Eon is public knowledge. You're trying to hide this guy from a cosmic threat, and meanwhile you're throwing his name all in the media.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, this was the time where Marvel Comics existed in the Marvel universe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Captain America drew his own comic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, and actually, when he crosses over to the new universe, he says, he talks about Marvel Comics, and he goes, "Yeah, we have those here."
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, "Well, but yeah, there was a comic of me in the Marvel where I got really confusing."
I can't
very
think
meta.
of those either. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah, but they do the interview, and then the bottom half of the page is the Quasar explains hyperspace.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. I loved that. So yeah, the science, they called them science sections, I think, or something like that.
I think, but this one just says hyperspace, the final frontier.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they did that in a few early ones, and then they kind of had to make it smaller. It was just a little text box at one point as they started getting more and more letters.
Yeah.
I might just have to take this image and put it up on our social media. Also, be like,
here's hyperspace.
Yeah. So, I don't know what the villain was doing since you can't understand him.
There's a lot of figures in there.
Oh yeah.
I think we need a beep here. We need a beep. There we go. Awesome.
But I'm trying to remember. Is next issue Quasar 4? Does that start Acts of Vengeance?
No,
I think that's in 5.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the Venom one on the cover, right?
No. I think isn't the
No,
Venom.
Venom is on 5. Yeah.
But he gets wrapped up.
No,
in
wait.
two
I was gonna
pages.
say, isn't he 6? Because isn't 5 Absorbing Man, or do I have that wrong?
Oh no, you could be right. I think that you're right.
Could be. Yeah. Hang on a
Absorbing
second.
Man's in. I can't remember if I have it mixed up, but I know Absorbing Man's in there somewhere.
The cover of 6 is
Red.
5. Yeah, Venom's on 6. That's the red ghost on the moon with the Watcher.
Yes.
Mm.
I think 5 is Absorbing Man. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 is Absorbing. Yeah, they're both acts of vengeance, right?
Absorbing Man is a giant quantum band.
And I think
some adamantium.
If I remember right, the original art to the cover of number 5 actually has the Venom circle on it.
Oh, number 6. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it was originally. I think the original art's on the number 5, but they bumped the appearance of Venom to number 6. So they moved that via stat or something to number 6.
Yeah. No, I'll have to look, but I thought Venom was on 6, unless.
Yeah, he is. He
Yeah.
is. But I think originally he was going to be in number 5, which is why the original art for number 5 actually has that circular Venom thing on it, and I think they just bumped it to number 6.
Yeah, because he only shows up for. I mean, spoilers. The Venom only shows up for what, like 2 pages before.
Yeah.
Wendell just bubbles them up and takes them to the vault.
Yeah, bubble up, done. Next.
But yeah, no, number 5, the first acts of vengeance, doesn't that take place right after Avengers 311?
I think so. Yeah.
So should we do Quasar 4, Avengers 311, and then Quasar 5?
Yeah, it is, because the very beginning of 5 says, don't tell us you've missed Avengers 311. Right?
Yeah. So should we do that 4, then 311, then 5?
Works for me. Sounds good.
Matt, do you have 311? Okay, cool.
I'll look around for 311, right? I can find it.
Okay, I was gonna say we got 2. Well, at least where we get to 311. So
yeah.
And then next issue is the Wondar the Aquarian.
Yes.
And
this is the pacifist superhero.
Yep. Who is pretty much a riff on Superman from the Project Pegasus days, which is really kind of cool.
Yeah.
Right.
I enjoy this one. I'm looking forward to talking number 4 coming up. Yeah.
All right, so there's your homework, listeners. If you want to read ahead so you know what the we're talking about, read Quasar 4, Avengers 311, and Quasar 5. Oh, and then we're getting close to Quasar 7 with Spider-Man.
That's right.
Ooh.
Yep.
Cosmic.
That's
Spider-Man.
right.
Exactly.
Cosmic
Cosmic Spider-Man.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, should we anything else this episode or?
There is let's see, Quasar number 3. They recolored, and I'm not quite sure why, in the trade paperback, which is what I have right here. This shows up about midway through, and they recolored, maybe using digital coloring or something.
Okay, maybe.
But it looks.
Well, they altered it too because they took off like all the. Yeah.
Kind of looks more like a painting, or that you would see on the Marvel cards on the trade paperback.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. I hadn't noticed that. I was going through the trade again, so that's kind of cool.
I think they reworked it too because they took all the logos and everything off.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So is that all?
I think so. We're moving through.
Yes.
We are approaching steadily the Quasar's good, but Quasar is about to get really, really, really good.
Oh yeah.
Very soon.
Yeah.
Acts of Vengeance, and then
Journeys into Mystery.
Yes, Cosmos and Collision.
That's the one right there.
What is that? What is that? Like 7 parts or something?
Yep.
7 parts.
19 through 25.
Yes.
Yeah. And we also have the last Secret Wars tie-in.
Oh yeah. I remember.
Yes.
The 8-year saga concludes and
come to an end. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's Quasar number 8, right?
Yes.
Quasar number 8.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's included in the Secret Wars omnibus. I think it is. Double check me on it. We'll check on that for next time. But I'm pretty sure it's included in the omnibus, which is awesome.
Yeah, for sure. I think Quasar was a good issue to wrap up some major stories in, because it was the After the Storm, Operation Galactic Storm. Well, I guess him and Captain America both had that, but yeah, the official After Party comic.
But I was gonna say Cosmos and Collision. It was in the '90s, so of course you had to have a Ghost Rider guest appearance.
Yeah, that's true. Number 23, and once we get there, I will bust out. I actually own the cover to number Quasar 23,
or nice.
Quasar number 23. So I will bust that out and show you guys. You can check it out on the Quantum Zone too. It's I've got a scan of it out there.
More original art, yes.
Yeah, I do love the series, perhaps a little too much. So
that's not possible. It's good. It's good. You should love it.
Yeah.
All right, but send us that link. I'll put it up on the social media about Quasar's quantum bands.
Okay, cool.
And I'll put up a hyperspace picture. So we're getting sciencey with you people.
Busting out the science.
That's right. All right. So next episode, Quasar issue 4. Read ahead. And Matt, where can people get a hold of you?
All right, I'll be on at Matt Kona, MATTKONA, all across social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all that good stuff.
All right, Professor Will.
I'm at Walred on Twitter, Facebook. You can also find me at willallred.com, where I have a blog that desperately needs to be updated, and then diaryofnight.com, which is the book that I creator, own, and write.
Nice. All right, and you can get a hold of me, nightwingpdp@gmail.com. On Twitter, I am at nightwingpdp, and get a hold of what? I didn't change this. All right, social media for the Quantum Zone, facebook.com/Quantum Zone Pod, at Quantum Zone Pod on Twitter, and nice and easy if you want to send us feedback, just pick up your phone, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And that has been your Quantum Zone podcast. Oh, I will do this publicly right now. If you two, well, I sent you the invitation, but Capes and Lunatics, we're going to be doing 2 Avengers Infinity War roundtables if you would like to join us. I got people coming from all over the place.
Sounds like fun, but I don't know if I'm going to see it by then. I may have to avoid it just to avoid spoilers, but watch it later.
I don't know if that's humanly possible.
I have to turn off social media or something.
Airplane mode, baby, for a day.
Airplane mode, yeah, for days on end.
Yeah.
Only give me text and right angles.
We need another ding. No.
Play music here. Oh, I killed the music. Okay. Well, since I'm here, remember everyone, get that 4.